I went up there 2 summers ago, and there were 7 of them on the beach that we had built in North Carolina at one time on just one weekend.
Unintentionally?
Huh?
Like totally unintentionally?
A couple of them knew I was coming.
Oh, okay. That would be hysterical if they're just.
But still, that's like hey! 5 other RVs on the beach though that didn't have a clue you were coming though.
Yeah, some of them didn't know. But word got out, I guess, that I was coming, and then they were like, "Oh, we'll come out. We're going to see Chris. We're going to say hi to Chris." And blah, blah, blah. So it's fun. Cool. I mean, I love it. I can't wait to go up there again. I was going to go this summer, but
Welcome to the Off the Road Again podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Ross.
I'm Chris.
I got him right as he took a drink.
Nice. Right on time.
So, as always, we're socially distanced before it was mandated. I'm in the Midwest still. Ross is in the Northeast, and Chris is in North Carolina.
Yep.
So, is it still raining?
No, not here. No, we're in the mountains.
Okay.
So, apparently, I had no idea the eastern part of the state got hit really hard with that storm.
Mm-hmm.
We really didn't get anything. We're pretty well protected here in the mountains. I mean, we're in the very tip of western North Carolina.
Okay, so you're pretty far inland.
Yeah. I mean, the closest beach to us would be Charleston, South Carolina, which is about a 4-hour drive.
Oh, nice.
If you want to go to Outer Banks, North Carolina, it's about an 8-hour drive from us.
Shit.
It's only 2 hours shorter than for me to drive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what are the closest off-road parks for you? Is it like Windrock or is it
Windrock?
Windrock.
Yeah, Windrock is about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours west of us. And then we've got Uwharrie, which is I think it's about 2 to 3 hours east of us.
Okay.
We used to have a really cool off-road park that was about 45 minutes away called the Flats. In Marion, we've done a bunch of if you've seen any of the magazine shoots we've done with any of the vans, we did them all at the Flats. It was a private park. I have a couple buddies that were members, and that we could just go down there whenever we wanted. So it was beautiful. We'd go down on a weekday when there's nobody there and just have the place to ourselves and do shoots. But yeah, other than that, we don't have a tremendous amount of access around here. It's very little. You'd be surprised.
That's actually pretty surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of land's private or they're Forest Service roads and they're all closed down. There's a pretty famous trail called Hurricane Creek that's real popular with the overlanders now. I ran that a couple weeks ago, and the only reason that trail's still open is because it's private land, only access from that road. So, yeah, I wish we had more access.
Interesting.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, seriously. That's an off-road can of worms right there.
I live in a state with only 9% public land. I understand.
Wow. Yeah.
It's literally, nope, another farmer owns us.
Yeah.
And so
I'd happily take 9%.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure in Connecticut. But you can go up to Vermont and Maine.
You can do Vermont, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania, and upstate New York has a bunch. Maine's the best, though.
Yeah.
Maine is the best.
How many hours away is Maine, Ross?
Far. It's really far.
What's far? Like 7?
So if you go to Portland, it's about 5. If you go to north, but you can't do any off-roading there. So if you go to the northeast corner in Machias, which is where we've done some of our biggest quad trips, it was 11 and a half with almost no traffic. And then Moosehead Lake, way up there is the same thing. It's 10 and a half, 11 hours.
So that's like me to Vail.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
10, 11 hours gets me to the middle of Colorado. For
it's
you,
far.
It gets you to Maine.
Yep.
It's only 400 miles.
Dude, traffic on 95 is a totally different animal up there.
There was
and I have a cousin there. It's a beautiful place.
Oh man, I'll never find it. There was I found an image today on Twitter, and it was so calming to look at, and it was just it was just a simple representation of what the interstate system actually is, but it was all square lines as opposed to, and it was not proportional because it had Kansas City way farther west than we actually were.
Somebody got creative on MS Paint or something.
I liked it a lot. I won't be able to find it now because, pressure.
It'll never be that simple. So let's do some news.
Oh, hey, I found it.
Okay. So real time dropping it.
Yep.
There we go.
Super fast.
Oh, wow. What the fuck is that?
So it's just a simplified version of it. But like, this is my favorite part is like, here's Kansas City, Denver. But like, this is an 8-hour trip where this is a 4-hour trip. So definitely not proportional to actual distance and time.
Yeah, that's pretty actually. For a dummy who just doesn't understand, how to read the numbers or where they go.
It's more like a shitty subway map.
Yeah. My favorite part is Dayton, Columbus, Cambridge, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg is all like, it looks like it's a 15-minute drive from each other.
Yeah. That's funny.
Where, Ross, I swear Columbus is the halfway point between you and me.
And meanwhile, it's no.
And that's like a solid 8-hour day.
No.
Thing. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway.
Moving on. So news. So you want to talk about this new transit van?
It helps having a van guy on tonight too.
That is true. We have a van guru here, so.
And we didn't actually introduce Chris at all. We just said, "Hey, this is Chris." So, Chris, you want to give us the elevator pitch about who you are and what you do real fast?
Yeah. I mean, my name is Chris Steuber. I founded and own UJoint Off-Road, and we build four-wheel drive vans, mainly Econolines. That's all we really do. E-Series vans, and we were the first to do a do-it-yourself four-wheel drive van conversion. So that's kind of where we started, and it's just kind of grown up from there.
How many years ago did you guys start?
I made my first kits in 2007.
Okay. Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So before that, I had built. I had a couple vans, but I built my Vanaconda, the big gray one. Mm-hmm. That I built it in 2005, 2006.
Oh wow.
And so I put a bunch of miles on it, before I ever even thought about creating UJoint Off-Road. Actually, UJoint Off-Road was a clothing line first. Yeah, that's Vanaconda.
Really? That truck still looks so mean.
Yeah, I know that it's aged very well. I mean, that picture was 10 years ago.
Did it just get bigger? Uh-oh. Tonight it's the hard freeze where I am the only one who I can hear. That's not good.
Chris has frozen.
I'm back. You guys are back. Right.
So you didn't have any intention of building them, you were saying?
No, I didn't really. I had a couple friends. I had a buddy of mine in California and then another buddy of mine in Chicago who just knew me as the shop that I worked at for years. We sold parts all over the country. So I got to know a lot of big shops and become friends with these guys. And, two of them just happened to hit me up like at the same time. I don't know. When I built the spring hangers for Vanaconda, I kept all the templates and kept all the drawings and all the specs, but I never planned on doing anything with them. And they kind of asked me at the same time, like, hey, I got a guy who wants to build a van. Like, why don't you help? And the timing was right. And I said, all right, I'll make a couple kits and sell them, and then we'll see. And I did. I made 15 kits, and they started selling. I sold like one a month.
Yeah.
I thought, this is kind of cool. Like, I'm making a little extra money, and it's fun. I enjoy it. So then that's when I decided to move back to North Carolina and then go at it full time.
Sweet.
Which took a couple years. So yeah, that's the quick background.
I have two UJoint stories. The first of them, I remember seeing the UJoint trucks start to pop up on, back then it was probably like Facebook and like Pirate 4x4 or something, in like 2009 or 2010. And that was one of the first things where it kicked my brain in and was like, oh, there's other people not building Jeeps to go off-road. It's like, holy shit. And then the first and I think only UJoint truck I've actually seen, I was driving to work one morning right after I'd had my back surgery, and I couldn't drive for longer than like a half hour at a time. And I pulled over and got out of the my old crazy 4th gen 4Runner. And there was a UJoint truck parked in the parking lot that I just happened to pull into. And it was like geeking out, trying to find the owner. And he was either asleep in the van or off in the woods somewhere. And I'm just taking pictures and walking around it, standing there for like 15 minutes, hoping the guy shows up, and nobody showed up, but it was awesome. And I'll
That's
never
great.
forget that. It was so cool.
Yeah, we took. I mean, nobody had ever really done a van. Nobody had ever really built four-wheel drive vans with any type of performance, or any care about it, or any what I would call geek parts, cool parts.
Right.
They were all built as cheap as possible, for municipalities, power companies. Just get it full drive and do it cheap. But then I said, we can do that. We can. I know I'm not the only one who thinks vans are cool and can build one himself if he had the right tools, and kind of somebody to hold his hand. So, and then building it to where they perform too. I mean, I took Vanicon and did a lot of stuff with it that people never did with vans. And to me, it just was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I friggin' love them. I mean, I have 4 kids. I was like, a full-size van makes tons of sense. Oh, wait. Somebody's building them so I can actually go somewhere with it? Like,
you're the target market.
Yeah.
Literally.
The problem is every starter van that I look at is so cheap that my wife is just like, no, that has to smell like, so like,
what's the catch?
Yeah. Like I need to find a clean enough example that I can actually get her into it and not have her absolutely hate it.
Skeeved out by it from day one.
And then go for the kit. Anyway, so got us off topic. The news, Ford dropped this morning that they're going to make a full EV transit van.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's only a matter of time.
I know my feelings on it. The specs on it weren't like blow you away. Like, oh my gosh, that's insane. Cause it only has 126 miles of range. It's rated for like 266 horsepower. And I wrote an article today for Hooniverse, and now I can't remember the torque number.
I mean, my first thoughts are it's a van. There's a lot more room. Why doesn't it have more range and more power?
Yeah.
Obviously, I have absolutely nothing to do with the number crunching or financials behind this. So
you got to think of who the market is.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be, Amazon short route delivery stuff. That's Target.
Yeah. So that's in the research I did today for the post I put on Hooniverse. It was more like it's got 126 miles of range, but like Ford has so much customer data from commercial van owners that like the number I saw like bounced around was like an average commercial van drives 74 miles a day. So yeah, there are some guys that are going to go way over that, and they'll still need the gas-powered ones. And the good news is Ford's not getting rid of those. But for the guy that's driving less than 74 miles a day, an EV makes tons of sense. And as to the point about range, more range means more batteries, right?
Theoretically.
More weight, more tech.
Yeah.
So by the number they're at, they're able to keep like the price down and still have the functionality. And so this is where I mess up, Chris, because I taught middle school for 10 years. So I've watched way too many Bill Nye videos.
Yeah.
And like in 90s.
There's no such thing as too many, for the record.
Homie, when you're watching it 4 times a day.
Okay, fair.
Like we don't even need to get in on how well I have the theme song memorized. Like I have the segments memorized. Like,
oh man. Okay, fair. Yeah, there might be then.
That, and there's an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation I showed every year, where they refer to humans as ugly bags of mostly water, which I can't get that out of my head. It's just
technically true.
Oh, it is absolutely true. But he has a visualization of like, all right, if every car is electric, where do they get the power? Well, they get it from the power plant. So we only really have to worry about the pollution from that power plant. Now we, as adults, know that there's way more pollution involved with building an EV, right? You got to mine the materials. You got to go through all that process.
Build it, ship it. Yep.
But I still feel like we're going to end up with more EVs than internal combustion engines eventually.
For sure. I don't think it'll be our lifetime.
I think in our kids' lifetime, for sure. Yeah, especially your kids' lifetime, Ross, since they don't exist yet.
You can't divide by 0. Chris, have you had anybody approach you?
And I couldn't find any damn pictures of it, but I want to know where the powertrain is. Is it a motor that has a drive shaft that goes to a stock rear axle, or is it all the pictures? It seemed like it didn't have a traditional straight axle in the rear. All I saw was just something straight across. So my first thought is, I have no interest in having an electric. If I wanted, a parts van, we have a parts van, a shop van that we use just to run around and run errands. It would work for that. But my first thought always as a car guy is, what can I swap that drivetrain into?
Yes.
Like the Overlanders are not going to go for that van, or anybody who's really building a camper van. I don't think they're going to want it.
No.
No. Electric assist might be there for Overlanders, but not just as standalone. Not yet.
No. So a fun fact. So I have a 2020 all-wheel drive Transit.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
I ordered one like early, like the week that the ordering opened up. I ordered one because I was fully geeked out on them. Amazon used up the entire first month of production of the 2020 Transit, like straight only to Amazon.
What?
A full month.
That's like,
that's
how
something
many
like
vans
I
is
don't know
that?
where you guys are, but like around here, like in the last 4 or 5 weeks, the Amazon vans are everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of sprinters too.
Yeah, we got some Sprinters and a few Pro Masters. But that's who they're catering to. Even with the all-wheel drive Transit, Ford doesn't give a shit about the aftermarket when it comes to the vans.
Oh, no.
They built that thing just to have traction and keep it low, for contractors and people who just need that extra traction.
Yep. Have you had anybody approach you to build a Transit?
A lot of people, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we looked when they first came out. I got under one, and I was just like, "There's just nothing to work with under here."
Mm-hmm.
It's unibody. It was the steering goes like right where the drive shaft.
Unibody. Oh God. Yeah.
It's rack and pinion, and I was just like, I don't know. I looked into it and thought about it, but then I also knew that, big guys like Quigley were going to be doing it, and I knew there's no way for me to justify developing a full drive conversion kit for it. I would have to make it perform better than the competition.
Right.
And I knew there was no way to really do that. There's just nothing to work with. And there's no way I could touch their pricing either. So I just said no. And I'm glad I did, because then, 5 years later, they came out with the all-wheel drive from the factory.
Right. And everybody's just going to go that way if they can do it.
Is yours the white one?
Yeah.
Okay. I found it on your Instagram account. I just want to make sure I was throwing up the correct van.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, cool.
So I'm getting close. So it's been a long story. I got it to develop a lift kit for it. That turned into a complete shit show. There's just nothing to work with, and I was going to have to rely on a supplier, outside supplier, that wasn't giving me the warm and fuzzies.
Okay.
And the cost was going to be pretty high for only a 3-inch lift. The front drive shaft on that thing is literally 10 inches long.
What?
Oh my God.
And then the front passenger CV shaft is maybe 14 inches long. So
so much for that.
You just can't do anything with them.
Yeah.
So that has the Van Compass 2-inch lift, which is basically a strut spacer and a taller strut. But you're pretty much working at the maximum of what kind of lift you're going to get out of that stock suspension.
What size tires are on there? Like 255, 265?
The 265, yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. And that's with, a considerable amount of trim.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the way it is. That's why, they just don't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd stick to your guns.
Do anything for me.
So the part of it that I think will benefit us in the long run is if guys who run commercial vans all the time end up running, like if they're fleet owners buy these people, then the average worker who's using it for their company begins to be more comfortable in an electric vehicle. That maybe over time they'd be like, you know what, I wouldn't mind having an EV at home. And Ford, I mean, they'll have the Mach-E, but like maybe they go grab a Kia Soul EV or a Kona EV. Like that's kind of how I see, like, this is kind of a tipping point for EVs. Like if we start to see them in commercial vans.
Are you talking about trying to get the redneck sales? You're trying to get the rednecks on board with the EVs? Is that your ultimate?
That's what the Ford F-150 EV is, right?
Like 100%.
Yeah. Rich rednecks.
Now,
rich rednecks, but they're also already buying $80,000 F-150s. So,
well, they're financing $80,000.
Yes, fair enough.
Which is,
I think it's good. I think it's cool. It's but it's going to be Amazon and fleets, HVAC guys.
Yeah.
That's who's going to buy it. Guys who want to appear to be green.
Yeah.
They're going to be the ones buying that thing.
Well, and the thing they were talking about is like it only has 10% of the moving parts from an internal combustion engine. So like fleet maintenance should go drastically way down. Like there's going to be a little higher cost to enter into that. I think it was like $45,000, but like after that,
right,
depending
you don't
on
have to change the oil,
life of the battery, it's like brake pads and tires and maybe batteries in the future. Like,
flush the coolant once every 50,000 miles.
Yeah.
But
I think it's cool.
I like it. I like vans, so
yeah. I just want to see more about the drivetrain. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah. I did read something that they had to. What did they move? They moved rear suspension like attachment points around to make room for
whatever's
EV
back
powertrain.
there.
So I don't know if that was
like it has more like a Tesla, motor in the axle. That's gonna be sick. Because you know what's going to happen? There's going to be millions of these vans all over the place, and they're going to get crashed. I've already seen Amazon vans crashed, and then we're going to be able to pick up that drivetrain and put it in something cool.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's one of our colleagues at Jalopnik has a guy was a Porsche Boxster.
Yes,
that he literally went and bought a Nissan Leaf motor from a junkyard, and he's going to create a plug-in hybrid Boxster. Because he's going to just put the Leaf motor only for the front axle. He's going to keep the internal combustion on the rear axle. And so he'll be able to charge the Leaf motor, and then he'll have the regular engine in the back. So
it's effectively all-wheel drive hybrid assist Boxster.
Can you use them at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's a smart guy.
Yeah. Well, and he went and got
he has an idea.
He has an idea. We'll wait to see how well it finishes. No offense, Brad.
I've always thought it'd be cool to have somebody develop an electric motor that just ran a front drive shaft to a front axle. Yeah. So you could drive around in EV mode just with your front axle. I think that would be neat if you could figure out the interface. But then you got to worry about steering. You got to have electric steering.
Yeah. I wonder if you could do that. They're building those kits for the Porsches for the 911s that you can just dump in the front, basically, and you have two like little output shafts and they replaced the hubs. I forget what the name of the brand is.
No. Are you thinking of
Wagon?
No, definitely not.
Not Wagon?
Maybe it is Wagon. I don't
know. 911.
Yeah, that is
electric.
Yeah.
Right. But I thought that's not that doesn't attach to the front drive shaft. That is like it's in between the engine and the transmission, and it like just spins everything up faster.
I have no idea. I haven't thought about it in months, so I'll have to look back on it.
I'm Googling fast. Yeah. It shows it going in between the engine and the transmission, tucked between the engine and the transaxle.
That's pretty cool.
So
that is not what I thought.
Yeah, those cars are easy to EV swap because they never had power steering, They never had
Yeah, sure.
They don't really need it.
I'm fully on board for electric engines in classic cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's what I want to do for my boys when they get old enough. I want to build them something cool like that.
Right. How old are your boys?
6.
Oh.
I'm already thinking about what they're going to try.
You got 10 years.
My oldest is 12, and we had a conversation a week or two ago, and I was like, hey, man, you're like 3 years away.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not giving you anything. So if you want something, you need to start collecting money now. Like, I might match money. Like, I might be that kind of a parent, but I'm not just like throwing a vehicle at you. So especially now that we're down to 2.
That's true.
So we used to have 4 Toyotas, Chris, and now we only have 2. So like within a week,
I
2
have
of
one
them
of
just
them.
disappeared. Yeah, one's in Ross's driveway. What?
You both 4Runner guys?
Yeah, I am.
I'm
this
not
is my
anymore because Ross bought mine. Yep. So
it's my 3rd 4Runner in 5 years.
And I sold my Land Cruiser and bought a 08 Sequoia to be my bus, basically.
Yeah, those are good. They're good rigs.
It hasn't let me down yet.
We did a 4Runner. We did a 4Runner for a good customer of mine. Yeah, we put a blower on it. And,
3rd gen 4Runner or a
5th gen?
5th gen with a blower.
Gen.
Oh shit!
Yeah, did a
Was
rack.
it like a Magnuson kit or?
Yeah, so apparently Magnuson was the one who actually made the TRD kit.
They manufactured it, yeah.
Okay, so so TRD discontinued, but Magnuson still made it. So we got the Magnuson. Yeah.
It's like a $5,000 kit.
Yeah. Not cheap. And it ran good. We did it for a real good customer of mine, and then he wound up leaving it with me for a couple months. And I tell you what, I fell in love with that thing. Just as like a just a DD to get around, and just easy to drive. Drove so good.
Yep.
I loved it. I was kind of sad when I had to give it to him.
Don't have to think about it. Turn the key and go.
That's why I mostly enjoyed my Toyotas. I didn't have to do too much.
Yeah.
Other than rebuild the front axle on the Land Cruiser, but that's
minor. Yeah, I've only had to do things for instances that I've broken things. So anyways, so next piece of news. Let's hit this real quick. And
I got a picture.
Yeah, so Ram has the Power Wagon still, and they released a 75th anniversary edition to commemorate the Power Wagon. The only real interesting thing is it gets a grill that kind of matches the original Power Wagons.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it does look good. The vertical slots on the front opening do look good.
It gets
other
badging.
Than that, it gets badging, and it's a Power Wagon. I don't know.
It gets special leather stitching.
Right.
And the only thing that stood out to me was they were like, you get 17-inch beadlock capable wheels.
Right, which means you can run them with or without the ring, supposedly.
I guess,
because some states you're not allowed to legally run a beadlock on the street.
Yeah, a lot of them. I mean, how many guys are actually going to buy that truck and then want to put beadlocks on it, but they're going to just keep the factory wheels?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Almost none.
Factory wheel.
I do like the
beadlocks are a pain in the ass. I have beadlocks on my flatbed right now, and I'm changing the wheels for the new one, and I'm going to non-beadlocks. It's stupid. It's like
unbolting 100 bolts.
Yeah, it takes a whole day to change tires.
Jesus Christ! No, thank you. It's a process as is. That's no.
Yeah.
Only if you need it.
And I don't. I mean, at the lowest I ever go down is like 20 psi. And I don't need beadlocks for that.
How much does the flatbed weigh? The truck itself.
8,000.
8,000. Okay.
8,000.
The diesel, the green one, as it sits right now. Yeah, 8 pounds. Yeah.
It's not terrible. I'm willing to bet that Power Wagon's better part of 7,000
or more. Yeah, I think the new Super Duties or a diesel Super Duties at least 75 by 7s. I think.
Which our editor right now has a tremor in his driveway, and
that was comical.
He's struggling with it.
A 2020 Power Wagon is 7,100 pounds.
Wow, it's not bad.
That's a lot of weight for
is that diesel?
Vehicle. No, those are gas. Those are I think the 6.4.
Jesus.
Yeah. 6.4? Is it 6.4? Yeah, 6.4.
8,000 pounds.
So this is 8,000 right here, right?
Yeah.
I freaking love it though.
And that bed is 100% aluminum. It's all aluminum.
Wow. Imagine what it would weigh if it was not aluminum.
Yeah.
Like 304 or something.
Yeah, it'd be 10,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
When it's a Dana 60 up front, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit. 60 up front, once in the back. 60?
Sterling 10.5.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a 02 to 04 Sterling with Dynatrac outers. It's got the big 14.5-inch diameter rotors and all 35 spline. It's a good axle. Nothing works good, but the next version better.
What transmission is it?
I think it's got a 4R100.
Okay.
Wow. Which is kind of I'm sick of those things. It's about to eat its third transmission, and that's one of the reasons that the new rig is coming around is
because of the weight.
No, I don't know. They were never the best transmission.
Chris, we're seeing your screen, just so you know.
Which screen? My regular screen?
Your home. Yep. I would edit that.
That was the Italian mountains. I hope you appreciated them.
Beautiful.
I actually had to look. I had to look up. I was like, "Where is this picture from? I want to know." It's somewhere in northern Italy. I was like, "All right, cool, cool story, bro."
Yep. So what are we looking at? So this is just as naked as it gets before you start the build.
And the donor Yeah. So what happened was Ford released the news of the new Godzilla 7.3 crate motor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of over diesels. I'm just sick of them. I miss my V10 van. I'm sick of diesels. So my first thought was, well, I'll get this new crate motor and put the new crate motor with the new 6-speed auto in the green truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just realized that motor swaps are always a nightmare. No matter how simple it seems, it's always a pain in the ass. So I said, well, that's maybe not the best idea. And then the AC went out in the green truck, and then the transmission started puking this summer while I was towing. And I was like, I'm over this thing. So I thought, well, the next best thing would be to just buy a brand new chassis and then swap everything over to the new chassis. So that's kind of what's happening. It's already snowballing a little bit.
It always does.
And so I don't care. It's going to be cool. So I'm doing a new Dynatrac front housing because I need to get it a little wider to get some turn radius back. And then we're going to keep the stock rear axle, swap the bed over, swap the trailing arms and all the link suspension in the rear. The Kings will swap over. And yeah, it's going to be killer.
So it's a 7.3? That truck's a 7.3?
Yeah, nice. The Godzilla motor. 350 horse stock with like 480, 495 pound-feet of torque.
Goddamn. That's healthy. Tune, exhaust.
Tune engine like crazy from the factory. So 5-star tuning in South Carolina is getting 120 horse out of a normally just a tune.
Just a tune on like 91?
On a naturally aspirated motor.
That is like diesel torque.
Exactly. So I'm going to try to get a Whipple charger for it too.
What?
So once they release the Whipple charger for the 70 gas, I'm getting one of those too. So I'm hoping it should easily have 600 horsepower. But
then it's time for drive shafts and rear.
It'll be good.
That's awesome.
I want to be able to put my tires up whenever.
Fuck. That's
gonna be nice.
I can't.
It already does one hell of a burnout.
Does it really?
Yeah. Hold on. I've got a
There's
video.
no weight.
Yeah. This was on.
Oh my god!
With like 20 miles on it. The thing's sitting in the Starbucks. It's got like 32 miles on it.
Jesus. That's one way to break it in.
Yeah, I sent that video to the Ford dealer. I got it at the right way.
Wow, that's a lot of rubber laid down. Good thing you're not looking at using those tires for a while.
As a dealer, I'm sure he was excited. He was like, "Well, he'll be back for parts."
Yep.
Yeah,
service departments.
I'm not worried about the warranty. The warranty's done for.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be a fun project. So hopefully, we've got a build plan. I'm trying to keep V4 alive as long as I can, especially with winter coming. But so we're gonna do as much fab as we can until we have to tear that thing apart. So hopefully the next week or two, once I get this transit out of my life, we're gonna get ripping into that thing.
What? Too many moving parts? Too many projects? Yeah.
The transit I've been doing like on my free weekends, and doing a full camper interior. It's turned out really, really nice.
Nice.
But I'm also building a house, so I need to liquefy that
God
thing.
Damn. That's a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
And then presumably customer vehicles as well. Right?
Yeah, which
I think my favorite posts you guys do are the transformations. Like
the before after.
Yeah, starting like this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Show your wife that, man. Be like, this. Look, man, there's mold on the hood.
Yeah,
but look what it could be.
The problem is, awesome. She'll then ask me, "What is the price tag for that van?"
She's smart. Been down this road with you before.
Yeah, she's from our very first date. I was like, "Oh, she's smart. Like, I'm gonna keep her because of that, and attractive, but smart."
Yeah. The transformations, a lot of them, they don't even look like the same van, and people will, be like, "Ha, nice try, buddy. That's not the same van." I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, I'm not making shit up. I'm not lying. It's the same van. We're doing one right now that is going to be a pretty good before and after transformation.
Like that ambulance to this ambulance, like that's not this. Well, yeah, it is, because you start looking at all the little windows on the box. But
yeah, that's crazy.
That is a crazy transformation.
Yeah, that's one of those ex-Red Cross guys. That's with the rear. That was with our rear suspension in it. That was
already right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's with our rear springs in it.
Man,
it's rare that we lift the rear first. We usually do the front first and then the back.
Oh.
How many ambulances have you done?
Ooh, good question. Not a ton. At the shop, probably half a dozen, I think. We've shipped kits for more, quite a few more.
Okay. Those are really cool. They they take it like naturally, it seems.
Yeah. They're built really well. If you can find one that's decommissioned, you can usually get it for a pretty good price. If you can get over the creepy aspect
ambulance part.
Which some people like, some people don't, but they can be more expensive when it's still able to be used, like a smaller town or a racetrack or something. But they're neat. They're built so well. I mean, they're basically all 2x2 box tube aluminum with a 3/16 skin welded to them.
Oh, wow. That's
V4. My flatbed was an ambulance.
Was it
before?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's on. I don't know, somewhere. I have a picture of it on day one when I got it.
Oh man!
But the boxes hold up so well that they'll take the boxes off and refurbish them and put them on a different chassis, a new chassis.
Wow. Does the same thing, the build quality, go for the chassis on the ambulances too, or they just take special care to the actual ambulance box?
I'd say it's definitely more the box than the chassis.
Okay.
The E-Series is a good chassis. When I bought V4, it had 220,000 miles on it as an ambulance. And then,
that's a lot of miles.
It's a lot of miles. So they took the box off and then sent the chassis out to auction or whatever. And I pulled it literally out of a junkyard. It was just a clean frame. It came out of Georgia, so the chassis was perfect. No rust.
No rust. Yeah.
It was super clean, and that's what I was looking for.
That's wild.
Looking for a nice rust-free rig.
So we're basically there already. So let's talk about UJoint. So first real question is, why the E-Series? What was the draw of the E-Series from the start?
Well, I've always been a Ford guy since a kid. When I was a kid, where I grew up in New York, there was a Ford dealership like 2 blocks from my house, and I was always just drawn more to the Fords. But technically, the Fords are easier to convert. The frame, the way the coil buckets are on the outside of the frame, it's easier. The GM vans, the coil bucket's part of the frame, which
part of the frame.
Yeah, the coil bucket is. Yeah, so the coil actually sits under the frame, which makes it a little more of a packaging issue. Once you get the twin I-beam out of the E-Series, you've got a lot more room to play with. Also, the Fords, the drivetrain's always been a driver, what we call a driver's side drop, for the transfer case. So they're just easier to work with. The Ford sells a whole lot more trucks, especially with straight axles.
Sure.
So yeah, the E-Series is just I think it's the best van. I don't think anything that has come out since they stopped making the full body E-Series has been better. The Transit, the Sprinter, none of them.
They're very different.
Work. Yeah, they just don't work as well. That's why we continue to be so busy with the E-Series. Yeah, that's my old van.
Right.
I just sold 7. I think it was awesome.
Right. I think the Transits are being treated a little more as disposable.
Absolutely.
And the E-Series, I mean, if you see an E-Series still going, it's probably going to keep going.
And it's worth rebuilding.
I do.
Yeah, they're worth. That's what we were doing. So many more restorations. We've done several, frame off restorations on.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's what that picture of the body was. I saw probably then.
Maybe, yeah. Alpha was a frame off. We've done body offs on multiple. That's one that's that one's still in pieces.
Is it?
But yeah. Yeah, it's still sitting right exactly there. That's my storage spot where I keep some of my cars.
That was over a year ago.
66 weeks ago on that image.
Yeah.
Time and money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just waiting for more money.
You love how that works.
What's the in your experience? Is there a specific E-Series that's the easiest to work on? A specific, combo on the engine and
the best combination, in my opinion, the best combination is a V10 with the 5-bar 110 transmission, which is my red van, the donuts there. That's what it was. That's the best. That's from 2005 up. That's most reliable, best transmission. A lot of guys still in love with the diesels. They're just not as reliable, and there's more of a hassle to deal with.
Is that the same V10 as the Excursion V10, or is that different? Because I know there's some people who are still like, they love the Excursion V10s and they won't drive anything else.
Yeah, it's the same engine.
Same. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of figured. Yes. Heard very good things.
It's a great engine. I mean, it's the Ford mod motor. The 4.6, the 5.4, the 6.8 V10. They're basically all the same motors.
Same architecture, just with extra cylinders tacked on.
Yeah, and different placement. Yeah. So when people are like, "Oh, well, I had a 5.4, it was a pile of shit, but I had a 4.6, it was great." It was like, or I had a V10, it was great. It's like, well, it's all the same. Like,
Yeah. There's another variable there that somebody's not discussing.
Yeah, it's not some magic that they did have. The only thing you'll ever hear negative about any of those motors is the spark plug issue. That was kind of an early issue with them.
Is that the one where they get stuck?
They blow out. The plugs
blow out. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a man.
Well, problem.
So that's different than like the Expedition ELs, where I think it was a 5.4 V8, and you had to get a special tool because the spark plugs would like break off still in.
That was in the 4.6 Mustangs too.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all the Ford mod motors had that problem.
That's what literally scared me into the Sequoia.
Out of the Expedition.
Yeah, who did we talk to? Somebody we had on the show had a ton of experience with it. It might have been Adam Shallow, I think, from Adventure Imports. But I think I brought up the Expedition EL versus the Suburban, and he was like, "Don't touch the Expedition." Okay. So I went and bought a Sequoia. It was neither of the options.
We've had a ton of those motors coming out of the shop over the years, and we've never had one blow a plug out.
On the V10s?
On any of them.
Really? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
what's the obviously there's a street aspect. Do you guys have a development route or like an off-road test section that you run a truck through before delivering it to the customer?
No, not regularly. I mean, I put them all. We go through the whole full drive function before, when we have a big delivery checklist that we do before a van even leaves the parking lot. So we build it before it even goes to alignment. We do a full checklist, and that includes cycling into that full drive.
And then with miles on it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and when the customer comes, I show them how everything works. But no, we don't take them off road or do anything like that. Okay. Everything we do is basically the same.
Right. So it works. It's going to work the same way on the new truck, on the next truck.
Exactly. Yeah. So we test it all and then, send them out. Some guys takes forever. They never put it in full drive. Some guys take it out immediately. A lot of the New York guys will send me pictures of them on the beach like a day or two after they pick them up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a fun day. Running a 100-foot slalom in a van
crazy.
on 35s.
On 35.
That's
and there's
crazy.
There's so little body roll.
There's almost none. Like for the center of gravity being up there.
Yeah, and that's another thing that is something I deal with almost daily, is that everyone thinks that these vans are just going to flop on their side. And that's one of the reasons I made this video. I mean, this is a 6-inch progressive kit on 35s with a Hellwig front sway bar, and that's it. Mm-hmm. It's all regular stuff. And I seriously cannot tell you guys how many people I've taken for rides in my vans where I scare them to death. We have a corner by the shop we call Quigley Corner, and I'll hit that thing. I mean, in my red van V7, I've broken the rear end loose on test drives.
Nice.
And we call that van the closer, because as soon as I take people around my thing, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah. What's the ride quality like compared to a stock truck?
Compared to a stock van, it's firmer.
Yeah.
We'll go oil the leaf springs, but it's not bad at all.
Mm.
Not bad at all, and it's definitely better than any of the coil sprung conversions, because that's why we push the 6-inch kit, because it's better packaging. You can get some more up travel. I mean, we see at the hub 16 inches of wheel travel up front.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Springs.
That's headed towards Baja stuff.
Yeah,
they flex. Now, how the travel is used is differently than like my green truck, with linked coilover setup, and the speed is a factor, but 95% of these guys are spending 95% of their time on the road.
True.
Or then
crawling.
when you get out, they can go out. I mean, you're not going to be driving through the desert and hitting whoops in a camper van.
Right.
Listening to all of your stuff in the back shake loops.
Yeah, it's just not realistic.
Broken
it's cool,
blades and shit.
But they do really well. It's a constant battle because a lot of people are just like, it's impossible for the spring to perform, good. And we've been proving them wrong for a long time.
Yeah.
And our springs are all custom spec to each rig.
Okay. So do you speak to the buyer or the customer you're sending parts to and like try to figure out their usage first?
Yeah. So the basic vans, an empty cargo van or an empty passenger van, we have our regular spring rates basically built to the stock capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And then like an RV, like we just saw, we weigh them before we build them, and the springs are built to the exact weight. Mm-hmm. They have the biggest difference in ride quality and handling before and after, because when that thing leaves the factory from Ford, it goes to get the body put on it, and they don't do anything to the suspension.
Right.
They might put some Band-Aids on it, they'll put a sway bar or some airbags on it, but it's still drastically undersprung from day one. So by us,
crazy.
By us doing springs that are spec to the actual weight, the real weight of it, it's a night and day difference. Like you drive something like that, and you have to remind yourself, like, I'm driving a house down the road. I need to chill. I need to slow down.
How long? What is that? Like a 32 or something?
That's probably 30 or 32 foot. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
How long's the drive shaft?
That one's probably it's got a 3-piece shaft in it.
3-piece shaft. Okay. Like they're there forever.
It's going to make a drive shaft that long.
That's crazy.
It's 2 carriage bearings.
It's long enough that you have to start worrying about the curvature of the earth. Like,
yeah. Well, I tell people that too. They're like, "Oh, well, how's it going to do on traction or off road?" I'm like, "Well, you got axles in 2 different zip codes, so."
Sometimes they'll talk. So
yeah,
it's like just instead of carrying like 1 or 2 extra U joints, just carry like triple that.
Yeah, that's a cool van. That's a really, really cool guy named Claude who lives. That van's in Switzerland now.
Is it?
Wow.
Yeah, he did. He was on the way. He was doing the Pan America Highway with it.
Man, that's amazing.
That thing's been everywhere. He didn't complete it yet, but that van's been everywhere from the Arctic Circle to Baja, all over the U.S.
Shit.
Iceland, all over the.
So he's that guy's living the actual dream.
Yeah, he is. He's a badass.
He's full on van life.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Yeah. Full flex in Utah. That's great.
And yeah, he pushed it to the limits. Like he got stuck in the Black Rock Desert for like 5 days one time in the mud, and he was like,
just living out.
He's Swiss, so he's like, "But I would just dig. I would drive until I got stuck, and then I would dig it out."
Wow.
And drive
what a
again.
badass.
Well, his bedroom's right there. Like as long as he's not running out of food or gas. Like, take your time.
Get tired from digging, just fall asleep.
He's the coolest guy ever, and you would never know. Like he also he holds lap records at the Nürburgring.
What?
Yeah. Not in that, of course.
Right, yeah.
He might though. I mean, what's the lap record for a converted van?
I don't know. I would love. I would have totally done that. There are a couple of times I want to take my red van to the local autocross.
Okay,
but
you should.
They're like they won't let you run it. I'm like, why not?
I don't know. There's been some SCCA Nat stuff. But... Yeah, I mean, between sessions, sometimes they run the dualies.
But that's like at your own risk. Like they won't actually.
100%.
Yeah. I'll sign a waiver, whatever.
So is what we just saw like the gnarliest off-roading that anybody has done with these things, or has there been like even crazier stuff that people have tackled?
Besides like me doing dumb stuff at an off-road park, for a magazine. Claude definitely put that van through its paces and put it in places where, we always get those stories where he goes places and comes across a bunch of Jeeps and they're like, how did you get here?
Right.
How did you get
wild.
here?
Yeah. So Claude is definitely not scared.
Did he turn around and say,
he would do it.
Here? I'm Spartacus? No.
Yeah. Right. He's great. Miss that guy.
That's funny.
This
That's
ambulance
wild.
looks like that's kind of gnarly.
Is that one of the shots for a photo for a magazine?
Yes, absolutely. Ali Mansour was shooting that, and it was a pretty steep little hill climb, and we just kept saying, "Go a little faster, go a little faster." He snapped an axle shaft on that.
Oh God!
I mean, that's 11,000 pounds. You come down on the throttle.
11,000.
Yeah, you come down on the throttle on that. You got to find a fuse somewhere.
Right. There's a weak point that will be broken.
Yeah, the magazine guys are good. That's their job. They're like, you can do that. Do this, do that. I've just been dealing with them for so many years. I'm like, no, I don't have to listen to you. You get the shot.
Everybody knows that once the camera comes out, people start doing just bigger and crazier shit.
Yeah. I broke a rear axle on a magazine shoot. Yeah.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, everybody's just like, stop. I'm like, what's the matter? They're like, your rear pinion doesn't look too good.
It doesn't look too good. It's like pouring out of itself.
Yeah. That was a fun day.
They've got to be great in the snow if they're that heavy. Like
that thing's unstoppable in the snow. I mean, it was that day I wound up pulling so many people out to where I was exhausted by it. We pulled a couple trucks out and then winched out, and then I pulled a FedEx truck out with it.
Speaking of somebody needing an all-wheel drive system, FedEx.
Yeah, right.
Well, it was funny. I put a picture up of it or video up of it, and then all the other FedEx guys started sharing it and ragging the dude. Ragging hard.
Deserves it.
They're like, you moron.
You guys should try to get your hands on like a UPS truck or something.
Just like a Grumman.
Yeah.
Well, we did a box truck. It's on there somewhere, like a Superior, like a bread truck.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Then I had my graphic artist girl wrap it like a Snap-on truck to try.
Oh, that's so funny.
It was pretty neat. It's on the E-Series chassis. Actually, it's used as a mobile art studio for some of ours. Yeah, they live the van life too. They have a sportsmobile, a Quigley sportsmobile, and then they have the box, the bread truck, or whatever you want to call it. And they travel around together.
What color is it? Is it white?
Yeah, it's white.
Is this it?
Nope.
Please try again.
It doesn't have a man front end on it. It's got it's literally like a bread truck.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like a hostess truck.
Yeah. Little. Yeah. We did a huge roof rack on it, fully floored, so they can hang out up on the roof. I think like 500 watts of solar, maybe. We did.
That is a lot of solar.
That's a lot of solar.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be fairly straightforward to put the systems in, like to throw solar up on top of vans, because there's so much real estate up there, right? Like.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, depends on the rack. We prefer to mount those solar panels to our roof rack.
Okay.
Put that up there.
So they're removable, or so that there's like a flat metal surface that isn't, the actual structure.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So we get a good rigid surface. We're doing one right now for a high top, and we flush mount them so it's not sticking up above the roof rack. Yeah.
Still looking for the bread truck.
Huh.
My Google skills are normally better than this.
It's there somewhere if anybody wants to take time to find it, but it's a pretty cool rig.
So what have your favorite builds been so far? Because you've done, how many total have you done? And then what are your top 5?
Gosh, at our shop, I don't even know. We build about 30 to 35 rigs a year at the shop. Wow. And we ship probably 75-ish kits a year.
Oh shit.
I don't even know how many we've done. Probably one of my favorite is a van called Alpha Van.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did that for a customer who became a real good friend that we actually unfortunately lost last year.
But sorry to hear that.
It was just, it was a pretty, it sucked. Coolest guy, there it is. But Alpha was just us just having a conversation, saying, "Fuck it, let's build the most badass van ever." And that's why I named it Alpha. I named it Alpha to kind of piss off and to poke other van builders. But we went all out. We found the right van. We took it down to the bare frame.
Is it Alpha Gray?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it.
Basically, pulled no punches. We got Swamps Diesel to build a over 400 horsepower 7.3 Ford. We intercooled it, which was, the 7.3 Vans never came with an intercooler. So it was the first full front mount intercooled 7.3 van without a body lift. And I mean, that thing will absolutely scorch the earth. It's a pretty amazing rig. We pulled no punches. We powder coated the frame. We powder coated leaf screens. We coated. Nothing was painted underneath. It was all coated or plated. We went all out. And so, I mean, it was about $150,000 build.
Wow.
By the
That's
time
not nothing. Yeah.
Then I went to Sportsmobile for an interior.
Jesus.
Yeah. So we built it for his. So he was. He had a house in Breckenridge. He had a house in Baja, and he had a house in Whistler.
Wow.
So Alpha was built to basically haul his toys between those three places.
Place to place.
Mountain biking.
That's so cool.
Surfed. So it went everywhere from Outer Banks to Whistler to Baja to Colorado.
That is awesome.
That's so cool. Yeah. What a build.
I think it was a beast. So that's probably one of my favorites. I mean, V4 is definitely a favorite of mine.
Has to be.
Yeah. We built a lot of cool rigs over the years. We're building one right now, a green one that I'm falling in love with. It's for a local tire company. So it's the first set of 22s. It's got 22s, which normally I would never put one of my rigs on 22s.
It's on 22s?
Oh, I got it. I've seen it already on the Instagram.
But it works.
That looks it looks like a SEMA build, but it looks like a SEMA build that could actually do shit. Yeah.
The difference between SEMA build and this is it'll be functional.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would have it no other way. If anybody ever tried to come to us and just build one without that thing's got an aux locker in the rear. It's got a true track in the front. 456s, dual Fox reservoirs up front. Like, it's got all the bad stuff under it.
It's amazing. And it's on 22s.
Yeah, but at least it's 37s, so it's got some size.
Fuck. Yeah, that's got stance. That's like the word that comes to mind looking at it.
Super aggressive.
Well, and like the line of lights on the top, the lights in the bumper, like just...
Yeah, on the rack. It's we're actually basically finished it today. Monday it'll go to alignment, and then we'll get some road miles on it. And then by the end of next week, he'll be able to take it home. We've got about 140 hours of labor in that thing.
Oh my God. 140?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
So you guys did everything, right? Not just the conversion, like a whole.
Yeah, we built the axles. It's got our front bumpers, getting our rear bumper, side steps, our roof rack. We build pretty much everything in-house. Like, we build about 95% of our product in-house.
Oh, that's awesome. Didn't realize that.
Material to
so you're full fab. Wow.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this is I commented on it.
You see your old comment.
I was like, whoa.
Funny.
Like, I'm not a big wheel guy. So like 22s, I'm like, I've got 20s on the Sequoia right now, and I've been hunting for 18s. Like
22 is a lot of metal. A lot of metal.
But that one, it works for me. Like I said, I probably wouldn't put them on any of my rigs, but
for that specific build, I like it a lot.
Yeah, and when he's a wheel and tire dealer, that's his business. So he's got to have some pop to it. He can't put some like Mickey Thompson Classic 2s, 16s.
Right. That won't get anybody's attention, but this will.
That will.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I kind of dig it. Like, I'm not ashamed.
It's cool. Yeah. We don't judge.
The phrase is guilty pleasure, Ross. Guilty pleasure.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be guilty. You can just like something. No shame.
Yeah. It's cool and functional.
As it should be. So, Chris, I know you had some trailer questions.
Yeah, is it the Sherpa?
Yeah.
Oh, now I got to try to find pictures of it. I'm not doing great tonight.
That's all right, man. We're all We're all there.
Doing a good job. Doing a good job.
And
yeah. Sherpa used to sit on the flatbed.
And I have an image of it. If I could just get everything to work together.
But then when we linked the flatbed, I couldn't find a good way to be able to take the weight. Yeah, there it is. Wow, where'd you find that picture? That's old.
Google is always.
Yeah.
How much did that weigh?
The Sherpa weighs 2,000 pounds. Crap, I used to know this.
So that's a 10,000 pound rig as it says in that picture.
In that picture, yeah, for sure.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The Sherpa was, so I had an XP camper on there originally, and it was a pile of shit. Hold
on, I had that picture too. You just posted it.
Yeah, just a couple days ago. It was cool in theory and it looked cool, but it just didn't function right. So then I just said, like any dumb guy would do, he said, I'm just going to build my own camper. So
hold my beer and watch this.
About. And so now the Sherpa lives on its own trailer, which makes it much more versatile. So I can take it and drop it, and I can pull it behind different rigs. And
that's a much more functional way to go about using it.
Yeah, and it's basically just like a glorified, food truck with a bed.
What kind of what's the platform? Does it have like? Yeah.
I built it from scratch.
You just built it?
It's all mostly 2x2 aluminum. I kind of compartmentalized it. And so I started with the kitchen. I was like, all right, this is how big I want the stove. And so I got the stove, and then I put my fridge in there, and then we had a jockey box in it. So basically the whole passenger side is just the kitchen.
Oh, that's awesome.
The driver's side has a water heater, a shower, a little bathroom, enclosed bathroom, and then a storage compartment with a 50-gallon water tank. On the top is a king-size bed. Yeah, there you can see cool. I don't have the walls up for the shower, but that's kind of the setup.
That's how it lives.
Yeah. There's
that's
my
wild.
board.
So this would be
the whole bed is the top is just a bed. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kitchen's off the right side.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's neat.
Cool.
I love all of these rigs. There's just something about some of these trucks shouldn't be on 4x4 systems, and they look amazing when they are.
Yeah, they've got a wood burning stove in that thing.
And that's what all that's pouring out.
It goes to show everything looks good lifted.
Yeah, yes, for sure. Absolutely.
Oh man. The wheel selection is everyone has their own wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh, those are some fuel wheels that that's been geeking out of my cooking. True overland.
There was one earlier. I was clicking through the pictures and I got to like a whole bunch of wood-fired pizzas.
Yeah, I got a pizza oven now. I'm not Sherpa. So
that is
a new thing. I just cook pizzas all day.
Oh, doesn't get better than that.
So if I get to a point where my cell phone doesn't work and I can have pizza, yes, please.
Right. I get to the point, my guys, some of my employees are like making requests for pizza.
Okay.
Nice.
Certain pizzas.
You better, next thing you know, you got like a little shop out of the back of your shop selling pizzas.
I know. I'm not that good.
It's good enough.
Yeah. I'm good enough for camp pizza.
Okay.
I'll build the woods pizza.
I found closer shots up of the kitchen.
Of the pizza?
Not of the pizza, but of like the side of the Sherpa at least.
Yeah.
Is it weird to have V4 on the wrap of the Sherpa?
No, it's not.
Okay. I was like, is it weird to have the van pulling the Sherpa on the Sherpa?
No, it's just got Vanaconda. So that front picture was at the place I talked about earlier, the flats, and that one on the side was it in Alabama Hills. Back before Alabama Hills was like the most tagged location in the world.
Right?
Oh, really?
And I think the other side's a picture of Claude's van in Alaska or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
in Alaska, God.
Yeah.
Where are there any crazy places you've shipped parts or shipped vans that people wouldn't expect?
Yeah, I mean we've shipped stuff to Japan.
Oh wow.
They have E-Series in Japan. Well, yeah, they do. They have Dodgy Bound, so they have full-size vans.
We shipped a van to Poland, Claude's Vans in Switzerland.
Yeah.
I've shipped a couple to Russia.
That's not surprising.
They make
That'd
a lot of sense.
For it. Yeah, they make a lot of sense in Russia.
Yeah,
Dubai. Long wheelbase.
Dubai. Wow.
So
Chile.
For Dubai, are they like the RVs, or are they just regular E-Series stuff?
All RVs. Yeah. The first guy we spoke for, he just walked in the shop one day. He just showed up. It was like, right away I was like, we got language issues here. He's just like, I want an RV. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what kind of RV is it? He's like, well, I don't have it yet. I'm like, well, where are you going to get it? And he's like, I'm going to go buy one. I said, all right, well, here's an RV dealer up the street. Go buy an RV. And he did.
Oh my God.
Did they just drive it to your shop?
I went and got it because he left.
Oh my God.
I went and picked it up, and then we converted it and shipped it to him. Yeah.
Wow. Here's a credit card number.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, we're driving one to Jacksonville to get on a boat.
So
wow, that's
for the RVs. Nice. Like they don't fit in containers.
Oh no, it's roll on, roll off. Yeah.
Okay.
How much is shipping? Is like $5,000 shipment?
No, more.
Oh my God. God damn.
The first one that we did wasn't even a long guy like that. It was probably like a 26-footer, and it was, I think, it was $10,000 or $12,000 to ship it.
Wow.
Now you could ship from
God, that's a huge number
for a couple grand,
right.
The Swiss van, it's a couple $1,000s, but you look at a map and it's like Dubai is way further.
Yeah, it's not.
That's true.
Yeah. So
there are canals you have to use for Dubai.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's not. But still, these guys are probably all into these rigs for, I don't know, $130, $140, which isn't shit.
Right. And then if you're shipping it for $5,000, $10,000, doesn't matter if you got that money.
Not even a tenth of the price.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So it's cool. We've got 6 for them on the books right now. We've done 2. Wow. I've got number 3 at the shop, and there's more coming.
Holy shit.
There's more coming?
Yep. Yeah. As they come offline, they get built. They come straight to us.
Oh. That's about as streamlined as it gets.
Yeah. We love it. Yeah. I love it. Crank them out.
That's sweet. So, I mean, on the horizon, just more E-Series. Like, I mean, I didn't even know they were still making them until you posted the video of your was it a cab chassis?
Yeah, the cutaway.
Yeah. Cutaway.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, people have been telling me since like 2013, 2012, when they decided they were going to kill the E-Series. They're like, "What are you going to do?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm just going to keep doing what we're doing." And we've been growing every year since.
So there's literally E-Series vans everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, a week ago at my shop, I had everything from like a 94 to a brand new 2021.
That's so cool.
How this might be a dumb question. Basically like the GM what is the Express and the Savannah, like that's basically the same van since like 1996. They just like changed the body parts on the outside. Yeah. Is that the same way for the E-Series too, or has there been the front frame horns haven't changed since 92? Really?
It's crazy.
Our spring hangers will fit any chassis 92 to current.
Makes it easy for you guys.
Difference. Now there are other differences with transmissions and shifters.
Of course.
But yeah, the spring hangers, our basic kit will fit a 92 to current.
All right, I'm gonna have to send you an email and be like, what do I need to look for? V10 2005 plus is what I heard.
Yeah, that is the holy grail. They're getting hard to find.
Really?
Harder to find, yeah. But they're still out there. I mean, people keep finding them and send them to us. So,
if you have the internet, you have a way.
I need to start that search before we post.
You have to be ready to pounce. That's the thing that I tell guys all the time. Like, don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Find the van, get aggressive because it'll be gone. Especially when the Transits first came out, a lot of the rental guys hated them, so they bought up all the E-Series, and then all of a sudden the E-Series market just went through the roof. You used to be able to pick up a nice, clean, low mileage van for $12 to $15 grand. And now all of a sudden they're 18, 19, 20. You're like, what's going on here? Like, how are they going up in value? It's because nobody liked the Transit.
Right.
So they're still there. I think we'll continue to do more and more RVs. We definitely broke a record doing RVs this year. And hopefully keep building cool stuff. Yeah.
So before we break, any tips for people looking to buy a van, or tips for people off-roading vans?
Not really. If you're looking to buy, just stay away from rust. That's gonna be your biggest enemy, in every way.
Sure.
Don't be scared of some mileage. If the van's clean, if you got a 5.4 van and the motor blows up, if you get by a 5.4 van with 100, 200,000 miles on it, and you invest in the 4-wheel drive conversion, and then you lose a motor, it's not a wash. You can get a Ford crate motor for $3,000 or $4,000, and then swap.
You're probably get a junkyard motor for $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Our shop van blew a head gasket on its 5.4, and I bought a 150,000 mile junkyard motor, and I think that outrun everything in the parking lot. Off-roading, just depends on how extreme you're going to go. Our kits work. We pretty much throw a posi in everything we build in the front. Okay. And we usually do a selectable locker in the rear. So we set them up to where they'll do what they need to do. If wherever you're willing, I tell people all the time, like, if you can fit it, it'll go.
With enough gas pedal, it will make it.
Yeah. Traction, 4 tires on the ground, and with traction.
Fair enough.
That's always the key, is traction. So
yeah, you're not going anywhere if you don't have anything to go forward with.
Sweet.
That's one thing that annoys me about these all these sprinters and stuff, all the pictures of the tires up in the air. I'm like, a tire up in the air is like, it's not doing anything.
Yeah, that's
cool
the
for
wrong thing to do.
Yeah. It's not cool.
It's an Instagram picture. Like this.
For a photo op, it's cool, and that's where it ends.
Yeah. Yep.
So at UJoint Off-Road, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yep.
Did I miss one?
I use. I don't. That's it. Yeah.
Nice.
Website. We got a website. I launched in, I think, April or May. It's been doing really well. Lots of good information on there. And then we've got instruction. We've got links to all our instructional videos. My next big task in life is to redo all of our instructions and do even more instructional videos for our parts.
There's always another project.
It's always something. It just never ends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys have a drastically different website. I haven't been here in a bit.
Yeah, it's all new, and that was one of the benefits of COVID. Actually, it kind of locked me down into getting this done. So.
Oh yeah, you guys did a nice job.
Thanks,
dude. There's the roof rack with the solar panels. That looks great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so we need to work on some more videos and some more, just making it easier for guys to do the swaps. And got some new bumper stuff coming out, making our own rear bumpers now. And
awesome.
The page just dedicated to RVs.
So many of them.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Holy
that
crap.
Brown one right there is one of my favorites. The second from the left, I think it's just gorgeous.
That's huge. Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't that thing beautiful?
Yeah, that paint's wild too.
I love that brown.
It all looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Somebody's getting out there. I mean,
yep.
Yeah, it's in California somewhere. Like I said, most of them are for the beach.
Yeah,
a lot of guys, when they first see these, they're like, "That's dumb. You never take that on trail." It's like, yeah, I know. They're for the beach.
For the beach.
They're for the sand and
Great way to stay at the beach.
Oh yeah.
There is snow too.
Yeah. I actually need to update that page. That's just a small sample. Yeah, that's a guy. If you don't follow him on Instagram, Fab Lab.
Yeah, no, he's
very
got
familiar.
Oh my gosh,
he's building a smart car right now.
Is he doing smart? He did he took like a Savannah van and like a top kick and put them together, right? Like
super cool, super cool.
Fun.
He builds some awesome stuff. He's done two rigs, 2 like buses with our kit.
Cool.
And that guy, he's a good creative guy.
Yeah,
He builds killer stuff.
I'm not going to share the Instagram profile that I got to when I just punched in Fab Lab.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure there's an underscore.
There's something floating at the bottom of that.
I didn't get the underscore in there, and there's a lot of. Nope, even that one's not right. So I will find that later. I apologize.
Yeah, I bet you will.
I try to do daily shop updates on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my story. I'm always just walking around, showing everybody what's going on. Not as much on Facebook anymore. Facebook, I think, is kind of dying.
A little bit.
I got tired of
but yeah,
by family members. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I try to do a YouTube video on every rig we build. So
very cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, looking forward to following along.
Thanks. Yeah.
So for the listener, if you haven't found it yet, we write for Hooniverse. Please read our stuff. I actually wrote a post today. I apologize, Jeff. I haven't written more. Ross is also on Everyday Driver.
Yep.
I'm at Overlanding Dad on Instagram and Twitter. Ross is at No Not Like the One from Friends.
That's it.
I did it right. That's hard.
Thank you.
It's so hard to type.
It's awful, and I haven't really been doing social media at all. So eventually that name will change, and I'll come back on.
Yeah, I will also say, like, if you're trying to contact us through social media, Instagram messages are probably the best bet right now because I don't have anything else enabled on my phone. It's literally Instagram to post about podcasts.
Yep.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, shoot a link on this one. I'll spread it all over the UJoint universe.
Cool.
Sweet, absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
I got to get in one of these vans. I have to drive one of them.
Same.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, my favorite part was I think I sent you a message like a year or two ago, like, do you have a press van? And you were like, I don't even know what that is. Like, you don't need a press van. You have people just showing up.
Right? You got people walking in, just saying.
Yeah, we're backed up for 6 months.
That's a very good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. It means things are healthy.
Yeah, we're not that big time to have a press van or do any of that kind of stuff.
Well, it's V4 is basically your press van. You just continue to post it, and it's awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what I am going to get an RV next year, and I do plan on doing more shows and traveling around more with that thing.
Okay. So yeah, we'll have to check it out when we're
when hopefully shows are a thing again.
When we're all in the same place. Yeah.
Right. That might not ever happen. Yeah. No. Well, yeah, I'm still getting it. So.
Yeah. So. And building a house and getting rid of a Transit.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Cool.
That's good.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
For meeting you guys. For having me on.